Robert from Shenandoah, Pennsylvania, has a question about condensation consternation.
I knew you could say that.
Well, it took me 7 times.
It is, and you only got to see the good
Charlie
one.
had to do it twice.
And I wrote it.
To teach me.
All right. It's in this Robert's problem, let's move along here, is in his crawl space. He has a lot of condensate, he says. Robert writes, just 6 years ago, a roofer covered my entire roof with ice and water dam. You know, the entire roof covered with it. Yeah. And didn't overlap the shingles correctly. 2 other roofers say the first roofer did wrong because the roof can't breathe. So I had the roof redone, and I'm still getting this condensate in the attic.
Looks like ice.
It sure does. It's kind of crossed over in the water cycle to water here. Anyway, that's with the soffit vents on the north side and cobra vent across the entire roof, as there was a ridge vent before. They closed the gable vents, but it started getting moist and warm in there, so I opened them up again, he says. Good. So an insulator wants to blow insulation up there to bring it up to R49. He thinks this would solve my problem. What say you?
I agree.
Okay.
This is not a roofing problem. Now, you can cover it with ice and water shield and then put your shingles on. Hopefully, the ice and water shield was under the shingles and not on top.
Yes, it is. I saw a picture of the outside of the house.
Okay, because the way he wrote it was a little weird. But what's happening is all the heat from inside his home, and I'm sure he's running humidifiers because, you know, in the north, when you have those heaters running and you run humidifiers, I did in Lake Placid, and you try to get 25, 30% humidity, right? Just so your nostrils don't dry out. But he's running a lot of that. The heat is going into the attic. The attic is too warm. Warm air, cold surface, which is the roof deck, which is good, is causing condensate to form, and it's causing icicles. I've mentioned this on the show before, where if you don't have a really well ventilated attic up north and the proper insulation so it doesn't get warm, because the attic, if it's 0 degrees outside, should be 0 degrees inside. If it's 40 degrees inside and 0 degrees outside, that's what happens. Because it has to be the same temperature as the outside.
So what's happening is the heat's coming up from the controlled space, and it can't get out.
And hot air holds water.
It does.
And so it hits that cold surface.
That's 4th grade science right there.
And that cold air hits that hot air hits that cold roof surface like it's supposed to, and it starts to grow icicles. It happens in all north climate areas. Now in Houston, where we are, it's totally opposite. If it's 100 degrees outside, we want it 100 degrees inside in our attic. People try to keep it cold. So what happens? The ductwork starts to sweat, the pipes start to sweat, because you have to have the same temperature outside as inside in the attic. And that's why the insulation, and you've asked me this many times with other questions, has got to go against the skin of the conditioned space to stop the hot or cold from getting to the hot or cold and creating that barrier. So an R49 in Pennsylvania is not unheard of at all.
Okay, so go for it.
I think that's the problem. You can ventilate until you're blue in the face. Don't heat your attic.
There it goes. And don't struggle with home improvement problems. Send us your questions.
We're here.
Well, that's why we're here. Send them to HomeShowRadio.com. Use that Ask Tom form. We'll answer it. Like these videos over here. And you want to know when we post a new one? Subscribe to our channel. Click the bell. We'll ring yours when we do.